name is David Crowley. I'm a filmmaker from Minnesota, and I've been working on the project Grey-State. And so far, it's just a concept trailer, meaning that it's not an actual feature film yet. It's an idea that we show, to help a possible investor or a studio or whomever visualize what our idea is all about. So basically, it's been an exercise in developing the themes and really getting the visuals across and showing A, that we can, that it's a good idea and that's something that people want to see, and B, that we can actually pull it off. So it's both a resume and sort of a pitch to anyone who's looking. And this is now a marketing tool that we can take to a studio or a possible investor or just put online so people can see it. And that's been one of our main goals, is to get 1 million views all the time. And most people know about everything. Any one of these issues, you ask anyone, they've heard about it to some degree, but it requires sort of an awakening context by which they can establish the difference between that reality and the one that they live in. So for me, I was in the military from 2004 to 2009. I was stop-lost for 15 months. I was deployed illegally as a civilian for a while. So I know what it's like to be a number on a page, and I've seen what our military is capable of when it thinks it's peacekeeping. I've seen the division between the military being used as a blunt instrument of foreign policy, as it should, and being a domestic police force, which it shouldn't. And so I have seen the context, I've seen the contrast between one reality and the other, and basically it was my military experience that helped me to decide and value liberty. Liberty is a real thing, and it's being threatened, and it's not defined by our creature comforts. There's some other thing that goes on, and it's about freedom, really. And are we free? And once you have that context by which to describe what I call the gray state, that's what the gray state is, then you can begin to wake up to your reality and say, hey, this stuff isn't right. It's all research based. Once you start to open your eyes, read a couple books, Google something, Google any one of these terms that you see in gray state, FEMA, martial law, RFID chip, the future rise of the Patriots. This stuff is all in there, and it's all widely available. And once you start to decide that this is not just conspiracy and that I should probably pay attention, bam, you're in the world, and there's no end to it. And it's that research that said, someone needs to tell this story, So there has to be a narrative in this, and I'm sure people have tried, and that's why it's taken me 2 years to sort of condense everything into one storyline, because there's 100 different ways by which the federal government will end this country, and I had to pick what I thought was the most realistic scenario, and that's kind of what the gray state is. Anyone who opens their eyes to this material has that month or so when they're just afraid, and they go outside and they're like, it's going to happen tomorrow. Look at all these fools, they don't know what's coming, and it's like you're just afraid of everything. I got over that like everyone else does, and I realized, well, there's some time at least. And so I was able to, bury myself in the film effort and really try to craft that narrative out of the mess that I was researching. Now, do things really scare me about the gray state? Well, hell yes, they do. Now, the follow-on question to that typically is, well, why are you making a movie? That's your response to knowing the truth about this awful, dark, crazy world we live in? Well, I think that everyone needs to act within their own capacity. I'm an artist, I'm a storyteller, I'm a filmmaker, so I have to do something, and if telling this story helps people to wake up, and that's what people have largely told me, then that's what I'm going to do. Now, as far as what scares me about it, well, with what is coming, you and I are aware of this, with what is coming down the pipe, yeah, we are all going to face some very terrifying shit in the next maybe even couple months. Who knows? I'm not a fortune teller, I can't tell you that, but something is coming. And at the very least, we all have to meet our own demise someday anyway. That's something to be scared of, or maybe not. Maybe we can just achieve a sort of spiritual maturity in which we can face our own deaths, because in the end, that's the worst they can do to us. The thing that scares me about gray state is that may not be the worst thing they can do to you, is kill you. So that's where gray state has taken me down that dark road. Death is not the worst thing. The end of the revolution, it's not the worst thing. There are deeper things to you than your body. The gray state is not by any means like a Christian film, but it is spiritual. Yeah. So defining the resistance and defining conflicts and defining how you will defend your liberty and your freedom and what that means. What am I as an intelligent, sentient being in the world? That's what kind of scares me, because they can take more than your life. I think everyone's got a vision about how they can best tell their own stories. And I think with today's technology, that's utterly possible. I mean, that's entirely possible. Anyone can basically pick up a camera and make their first film, get noticed for the quality of the storytelling, and move on from there, getting funding and getting attention from here and there. It's a ladder for sure, because you're not starting out in Hollywood with $1 million. It doesn't work that way. So libertarian filmmakers, you'll find yourself at odds with society. My film, my trailer has done awesome on the national scale. Locally, everyone is used to it. Everyone's used to me. They're tired of my politics. I don't know what it is, but it's been largely ignored. That's because, to the large extent, we know that the mainstream media has a liberal bias. They're not willing to even acknowledge these ideas. So it will be a challenge for young libertarian filmmakers trying to make their mark in film. But it's not like a dead end by any means. There's always hope because, as Dr. Ron Paul says, freedom is popular. And so there's a large audience of untapped resources, of an untapped audience who are willing to watch your projects. If this film can actually get made, yeah, that's a strike. I mean, that's a victory for the liberty movement, because you know that I'm going to put in some liberty-minded ideals into the film. Now, it's a concept trailer, so we need money. Basically, it comes down to begging for pennies, but that's the way it's got to be, because no Hollywood studio is going to back this film. So it's got to come from grassroots, spreading the word. Hey, check out this trailer. Share it on Facebook. Have them share it on Facebook. Share it in public forums. Talk about it. Check out our website, because we're running a crowdfunding campaign. If 100 people see the trailer, one of those people might donate $5. So it's indiegogo.com/grey-state-movie. That's where we're running the campaign. We're offering some T-shirts. We're offering posters, signed 8x10, signed posters, a lot of stuff from the film itself. A lot of really cool things that we're offering in exchange for some of your contributions. And that's how we're going to start funding this film. And then eventually it will go off and we'll get some major investing, maybe get backed by a studio or two, I don't know. That might happen. We might get the couple $1 million that we need to actually produce the film, and it might actually happen in the next 2 years. So definitely support the project.
Grey State is less a movie than it is a warning. We do not live in a dictatorship, but we do live in a police state. What we're going to see is the unveiling of this Grey State foisted upon America. Americans believe that they can't do anything. And day by day, they're becoming correct. It's a game of numbers, and we're losing.